This video demo clip will show us how to install Lubuntu, which is an excellent choice if you have a slightly older machine or one that may have limited resources, such as not that much RAM or an older display card. Once you boot from the install medium, you'll have to select the language that you want to use for the remainder of this session. After selecting the language, we're presented with this next menu where we simply select Install Lubuntu. This may seem like a repeat, but it's not. The first language selection we made was for this session. This second selection we're making is for the installation language to be used. Following that, we're presented with a screen where we can confirm that we have enough drive space, that the workstation is plugged into a reliable power source, and if it's connected to the internet, we have further installation options. If we are connected to the internet, we can make the selection to download updates while installing. And it's also recommended to install the third-party software so that it will have the necessary codecs to play the popular media types. After verifying these requirements and making our selections, we click Continue to proceed with the installation. Here we select the installation type, which basically has to do with the type of hard disk partitioning and formatting we'll be doing. This is a basic example, so we're selecting the first, which will erase everything on an existing hard drive and install a fresh copy of Lubuntu. If that is not what you want, then please refer to the appendix section of this course for advanced installation options. Other advanced options here include to encrypt the disk for security, to use logical volume management, or something else which opens a manual partition dialog. Again, that is beyond this video demonstration clip scope. For advanced techniques, refer to the appendix of this course. After verifying your selections, click the Install Now button to proceed. In this next dialog, we simply select our time zone by clicking at our location in the world map. Then we click Continue. Following our time zone selection, we have to tell the installer the language and type of keyboard that we have. We can also use the Detect Keyboard Layout button, which will open a helper and a dialog to prompt us to press keys and help the installer figure out what type of keyboard we have. In this case, we know we have an English US keyboard, so we simply make that selection and click Continue. You should select the proper keyboard for your own language. In this final dialog screen of the installer, we have to provide our first and last name. A computer name and username will be selected, which we can accept or change. Then we have to enter and confirm our password. And it is always best to use a password that has a mixture of upper and lowercase character, at least one numeric character, and a special punctuation character as well to create a good, strong password. After entering and confirming this information, we press Continue to proceed with the installation. At this point, you can just sit back, relax, and watch the presentation as the rest of the files are copied and installed to your computer system. It's a good idea to watch this presentation because it will be your first experience at learning about the applications and features that come installed by default with Lubuntu. Lubuntu is basically Ubuntu with a different desktop. In this case, it's the LXDE desktop, which is designed for computers that may be slightly older or have less resources. Like most versions of Ubuntu, Lubuntu comes with the Firefox browser by default. You can add the Flash plugin and even the Chromium browser if you like, using the Ubuntu Software Center following the installation. By default, Lubuntu does not install the LibreOffice suite, but that can easily be added, again, using the Ubuntu Software Center after the initial installation. For playing your music and video files, Lubuntu comes with Audacious and the GNOME M Player. Of course, there are other optional players you can install from the Ubuntu Software Center at a later time. By default, the Pigeon Messenger is installed, but you can also, as an option, install the Empathy messaging application. We've only mentioned it a few times already, and it has its own panel, so it must be important. Here we see a sample of the Ubuntu Software Center and how easy the interface with Lubuntu makes it to manage and add or remove software. As with the other flavors of Ubuntu, Lubuntu has its own community of people who are always willing to help newcomers. We encourage you to join the community and get involved. You can contribute even a small amount monetarily, or even just a little bit of your time can make a big difference. Many hands make light work. When the installation is complete, you'll be prompted to restart the system, remove the installation media, and reboot to your new Lubuntu desktop workstation. Following a reboot, you'll be presented with your login prompt, where you will use the password you set up during your initial installation of Ubuntu, and then you should see a nice new Ubuntu desktop. If you've got this far, we can shut down. Our work is done for now.